There are over 500 functions in Excel. You need 12. These 12 formulas cover 95% of everything a beginner or even an intermediate Excel user will ever need to do. In this episode, I've ranked them from the one you will use every single day down to the ones that will make your colleagues think you are a wizard. Let's go through every single one. Welcome back to Zero to Excel Hero. This is episode 5. Over the last 4 episodes, we built a budget tracker, styled it professionally, and converted it into a smart Excel table. Today, we are using the exact table as the playground for every formula we learn. If you are new here, the budget tracker file is in the description. Download it, open it alongside me, and you will be able to follow every single example in real data. That means something. 3 tiers I divide this into. The first tier is must-have formulas. The second one, power-up formulas, and the ones that separate beginners from confident user. Here we go. Tier 1, must-have Excel formula. The first one here is sum function. The sum function is a common function, and I think we have used it before but I will be showing it again to those that are coming here for the first time. The sum function. This is what you use to add numbers together. So you can either write the number there, put a comma, or the easiest way, just if you have the number in a range, just select it together, and your sum function recognizes that, and you see your total here. You see your total there. In Excel, if you want to add a range of number together, just at the front by the right or at the bottom by the left, what you just need to do on your keyboard, if you are using a Windows, just Alt plus will give you, but if you are using a MacBook, you use Command Option plus, and you can see it has selected your range, and you just press equals to, and you have the value for your sums. The next one here for your must-have Excel formula is the if function. The if function. To demonstrate the use of the if function, I'm going to create an extra column here. So what we want to do is we want to know if we are over budget or under budget. How do we do it? Using the if function, press your equals to, then your if function. Your if function saying logic test. What is your logic test? You already find the difference between total spend and your budget. So in this case, anytime we have a negative value here, it means we have overspent. Then anytime you still have a positive value, it means you have not overspent. So what we do is, if what's our logical test, the difference between your total spent and your budget is less than 0, you say over budget. What do you want it to be? It should be over budget. Then if it's not less than 0, you just say under budget. So in this case, the first one is over budget, and you can drag it down, and that's it for your if function. We'll do more about if function in an episode. We have an episode dedicated for if function. The third one here for your must-have Excel is called the VLOOKUP. I'll be using another Excel file to explain this. So let's check VLOOKUP. So here we have a sales data. This is the product catalog, and this is sales data. So this is the sales data order. The first order is product code is this. We want to know the product's name. So we can use a VLOOKUP to look for the product name. So your VLOOKUP has 4 things you can specify. The first one is the lookup value. What do you want to look up for? Yeah, we want to look for our product code. What are the exact thing you are looking for? Then the next one is the table array. Where is the table you want to look for your product code? Then the next thing is the column number index. The column number index is the column that contains the output you want for your VLOOKUP. The last one is if you want either an exact match or you want something similar. You want it to look for something similar, or you want an exact match of the word you are picking out. So let's look at it. VLOOKUP. What are you looking out for? The lookup value. Here we want to go and look for our P001 or the product code to go and bring out our product name from our product catalog. So you are looking up for your product code. Then the next one is the table array. Where is the table? This is the table here. We want to go and look for our. Remember to lock in your table so that your table will not shift. Then the column index, you want to get the product name. Here, if you count column 1, this is column 1, column 2. So you pick column 2. Then the range lookup, you want an exact match or an approximate match. In this case, you want to look for the exact value so that there won't be a mistake. So you pick false. That's an exact match. Then you get it. So if you look at it, the product code of P001, the product name is Excel Beginners Lookup. And when you drag this formula down, you can see it has picked the product name for all the product code that you can see here. The fourth must have Excel formula is the SUMIF. We have used the SUMIF a lot designing our budget. And I will just show you briefly again. For those that have not been with us, you can go ahead, look at our previous video and see several examples. So let's do our SUMIF. So let me show you an example of SUMIF. For our product code, we have P001. Let's assume I want to know what is the total sales for that month for P001. You go to your SUMIF. Then what's the range of where you want to look for your P001? Look at this range. I'm locking my range down. Then what is the criteria? I want to look for P001 in this range. Then where is my sum range? What do I want to sum? If I see P001, add the value for the sales. Then that's all. So you can see the total sales for P001, that's your Excel beginner bundle, is 343. And if you look at it, it's 147 year and 196 years, which will give you 343. So let's move to the second tier. These 4 formulas of the second tier take you from functional to effective. The first set is average, max, mean, and count. So the first one is average. I want to know my average sales for the month. I'll go to average, then the set of numbers that you want to know the average for the month, which is my average sales. And that's all. You have your average sales. The next one is count. Yes, count is in 2 ways. You have count and count A. The difference between the two is count numeric values alone. Why count A counts every non-empty cells? And I will show you here. So if I'm counting where we have a numeric value here, let me use any of this. Okay, count this one. And you will see you have 10 number of sales in the month. But if I use the same count where the values are not numeric, like where you have the product code, you will see it will give you 0. So count can only count where you have numeric value. While your count A count every non-empty cell. So you can use it to count where you are using non-numeric value. So you use your count A to count when you are counting non-numeric value. So I can use it to count my product code now, and you still give me the same value. Then for your max, what's the highest price of things you sold there? So let's look at it. Max, use the formula max. Let's have the range here. And you see the most expensive thing there is 298, which is this last one. What is the lowest price? You use your main function, which should be 0, and that's giving us 0. That's correct. Then the next set of formula should be that you should know is your if error. If error. This you use to control your error. And I will show you an example here. We used our VLOOKUP here to get this value. Let's assume there is a product code here that does not exist in our product. Let me put P009, which doesn't exist. Immediately you see an error message, and this might be confusing to you. So how do we undo that? Let me show you. I will still be using VLOOKUP here, but I will use my if error to nest my VLOOKUP. Let me type my VLOOKUP formula. What is we are looking for the same thing. We are looking for, in this case, let's look for the category. VLOOKUP. What are we looking for? We are looking for this one inside. What is our table array? This is still our table array. Let me lock it down. Then what is the index column, index column, we are looking for category here, which is 2. In this case, it's 3, sorry, the third column, and we are looking for exact match. So let's make it false. So let's close that. So what if we have an error? What do we want to say? I just want it to print a message not found. Not found. If there is an error, I want it to print a message not found. That's it. So if error, usually we use it to nest our formula to always give us a message when there is an error. So in this case, I will still drag this down and we'll see, okay, everything is here. So let me change another one to P009 again, and you'll see what will happen. P009. So in this place, it's showing an error message, while in this place it's showing not found. So you can easily understand that there is no P009 in this place. Then the next one will be your text function. The text function is a very versatile function in Excel. Numbers and date in Excel are stored as raw values. Text lets you control exactly how they display in your formula. I will show you an example here. So before we use our text function, I want to show you today function. Today function usually give you don't put anything there. So it gives you the date of today. So, and you can display the date the way you want. Maybe I don't want the way the date is displayed. I can change the way it is displayed. But let's just use a custom. Let me change the way it's displayed. Let's give us something. Okay. Let's use this way. So, then for your text function, what you use your text function is, you can use it to specify how you want your today's date. So see the way it's displaying here, you can decide to go to your here to go and adjust it. But if you want a particular way, you can use your today's date, your text function, to change the way it's displayed. So what we want to change the way is today's date. That's the value. How do you want it displayed? So in this case, I want it displayed as D is for day, dash, M is for month, then dash, and year is for Y. I want the full year. If you put D twice, it will display it as a double-digit day. If you type your M 4 times, it will display the whole full month. If you type it 3 times, it will give you the abbreviation. If you put your year 4 times, it will give you the full year. If you put it 2, it will give you two numbers in your year, like 26 instead of 2026. So let's see. And you can see the way it's displayed. It displays this one as 15th May. And I can decide to adjust it again. Let me put my day, D to be 4, Friday, May 2026. So you can use it to adjust the way you want your dates to display. You can try the variance yourself. And another formula you can also take note of is now. Now can show you the date and time of this period. So let's try now. You can see the date and the time. Now let's move to tier 3. These are confidence builder. The 4 functions we'll be talking about here will make you look like you know exactly what you are doing. The first one is XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP is a modern replacement for VLOOKUP. If you are on Microsoft 365, use this instead of VLOOKUP. So, what is the value you are looking up for? That's lookup value. In this case, we are looking for P001. Where is the lookup array? Here, you don't need to select the whole table. Just select the array of where you are looking up for. Sorry, I didn't put my comma. What is lookup value? What is the value you are looking up for? This, your comma. Then, where is your lookup array? This is your lookup array. Remember to always lock your lookup array. Then, the next one is return array. In this case, you don't need to select the whole of the table for the lookup array. Just select the array. Then for the return array, just select the return array too. Then lock it in. Then you start seeing the beauty of XLOOKUP. What if you did not find what you are looking for? You don't need to nest this one inside. Just type not found. That's what I want it to be. You can put anything there. You can just put 0 if it's not found. Right. Okay, just display 0. Then what is the match mode? Exact match. You are looking for the exact match of P001. Then the search mode 1. You can decide not to enter the whole of those values. They are optionals. And that's something I want. Anytime you see variable that you're looking out for in square bracket, it means those things are optional. You might not need to specify them. So look at it, online course. So let's drag it down. And you will see at this point, it shows not found. So you don't need an if error to nest your XLOOKUP. It's an advancement over VLOOKUP. So these are the 3 things that makes your XLOOKUP better than your VLOOKUP. 1, no column number. You don't need to know your column number. You point directly at the column you want to return. So if anyone inserts a column, your formula doesn't break. The second thing is it works in any direction. VLOOKUP can only work from left to right. For XLOOKUP, you can work from left to right, right to left. The third one is the fourth argument. That's where you have your if not found. It helps you forget about using if error to wrap your if lookup. And if you try XLOOKUP in your Excel and it shows you an hash name error when you type XLOOKUP, you are using an older version of Excel. Use VLOOKUP instead, as we have covered in the tier 1 of this formula. Then the next one is your length and your trim. Your len and your trim. These two helps you in cleaning up your data. For your length, it tells you the length of the characters in a cell. It tells you the length of the character in a cell. So let's use the length function. So let's check the next function for this one. And you can see it's showing 4 character. 4 character. That's P001. Let's assume it is now 5 character because I put an extra space there. So in case you see P001 here and you're having error message, you start wondering, why do you have that? You can use your length function to correct it. Then the trim function. Trim function helps you take care of some special character that you cannot see. The trim function helps you to remove your extra spaces. Like now in P001, I've added extra spaces. So let me use my trim function. Yeah. If you have extra spaces, you have double space within your text, in between your text, trim function help you to take care of that. So let me use trim for this. For this one, and you see it's showing P001 now. So let's check the length of the P001 we have here again. It will be back to 4 character. So trim function helps you remove extra spaces. It helps you remove extra spaces. Let's move to the next one, which will be the second to the last function we'll be talking about. So it's the concatenate or the AND operator. The concatenate or the AND operator. They are used to join multiple cells. You can use it to join multiple cells together, and they work in the same way. Either you are using the AND operator or you are using the concatenate function. So let me use the concatenate first. So I want to combine the product name and the category. So let's use concatenate to do it. Concatenate this, you put comma. You can type in a text. I want a space in between them and a comma in between them. Then I pick this. Then you can close it and you have, if you look at it, you have Excel online course. So you can use the AND function for the same thing. But in this case, you have to type your AND multiple times. So J7 and I want my comma, the space, then another hand. So as many things you want, you will be putting and before the next one. Then I want the online, this one, and you see they'll give me the same thing. So concatenate and the add function, you can use it to combine two cells together when it is needed. Before we move to a newer version of Excel, there is another concatenate type of function. It's called text join. The text join is if you want to join some group of text together using just one particular delimiter, maybe you just want space in between them. So we can join as many texts together. See, after specifying your delimiter, you will check, okay, do you want it to ignore an empty cell if the cell is empty? Yes or no? So let's try. If the cell is empty, ignore it. If it's not empty, so ignore an empty cell, true. Then, which text do you want to join together? You want to join text, this one to this one. We just want a space between them. Even if you want to join the next one, you can join it together. So let's close it. And you can see, you just join these two texts together with a space. So let me try and join the three together so that I can show you something. So I want to join it to this again. You can see there is just a space. What if I remove this one? You can see it doesn't have an issue with it. It will just leave it because I've already specified if it's empty, it should leave the cell and not worry about it. The last set I want to discuss before we round off is COUNTIF and AVERAGEIF. COUNTIF and AVERAGEIF. So I will go back to our budget tracker. So I want to count the number of times I earn income this month. So how do we do that? Let me do it here. Income counts. I want to count the number of time I have an income this year. So you just go to this place. You say count if, which range do you want to count? Since we have income and expense here, I want to count this range. What is the criteria? I want to count only when I earn an income. And you can see I earn an income 3 times within the last 1 month. And the same way your average works. You can say what is the average of the time, average if. So you look at it, what is the average money you spent on food? What is the range you want to look for food? I want to look for food in this range. What is the criteria? The criteria is food. I want to look for food. Then, where do I want to check my average range? Is this place. Then your tab. So you can see the average amount you spend on food is $106 for the month within that same range. So these three formulas, SUMIF, COUNTIF, and AVERAGEIF, forms a family. Once you understand one, you understand all three. Same structure, different calculation. Save this video, I'm serious, bookmark it, add it to your paid playlist. Pin the link somewhere you will find it. This is the formula reference you will come back to. The free cheat sheet has all 12 formulas with their syntax, a real world example for each, and the most common mistake to avoid. It is in the description. No email required. Let me recap the 3 tiers. Tier 1, the non-negotiable. SUMIF, VLOOKUP, SUMIF. Use this every day. Tier 2, you have the power-ups, the average, max, mean, and count. If error, text, today and now. Use this every week. Then the Tier 3, the confidence builder. XLOOKUP, length and trim, concatenate, COUNTIF, and AVERAGEIF. These are what separates a beginner from someone who actually knows Excel. One important note, you do not need to memorize this formula. I don't memorize them. Nobody memorizes them. You need to understand what each does so that when you have a problem, you know which formula to reach for. Then you look up the syntax. That's how every Excel user works, including the experts. In episode 6, we go deep into the if logic. specifically nested ifs, the ifs function, and an OR logic, and how to build a commission calculator that does real math automatically. It is the most requested topic, and it's everything if can do that we only scratch the surface of today. Drop a comment with the formula you found most useful. I read every single one. See you in the next one.